Excuse me. Closer. Gotta get closer to see what I'm doing. Click. Oh, hello. Yes, 1 second, I can actually put something on that will show you what the final product will look like. One moment. There we go. That up there in the corner, that is what the final piece will look like. Thank you. I do like videos like this one where it's just rain. No joke, is most of my YouTube viewing sometimes. It's just such a nice break from all the craziness. How are you doing this evening? Thanks for stopping by. I figured I would just kind of sit and stitch and do my own thing, and my channel is supposed to be a record of my projects as I complete them, so I can kind of see the project being done over time, but I didn't figure I would catch anyone in the evening. Ooh. Is Rogue my favorite class? That is a tough question. So the reason I'm stitching this is actually for my players. So I'm doing these types of stitchy projects that are done in this style. So the way this Rogue is done, I'm actually doing an Artificer, Rogue, Sorcerer, and Ranger in this exact same style. So, as a matter of fact, so there's Sorcerer. So that's what the Sorcerer, and Sorcerer is already complete. So, the finish, I did a stream where I finished Sorcerer, so that's on my channel elsewhere. So that's Sorcerer. Here's Artificer, which I think will be next once Rogue is finished. And then last but not least will be Ranger. And the reason I'm doing all 4 of those is because those are my players. So right now I'm doing the Rogue. I already did the Sorcerer. And then the other 2 will be next. So they are for my players. Once I finish them, they will actually go to the player that plays that class. So that's the reason behind the class choice. However, in every video game I ever play, or any kind of RPG I ever play, my first experience with the game, so usually I'll do multiple playthroughs on different classes, but my first run through of any game is pretty much always the Rogue amalgamation, particularly anything archery related. I just will default to the Rogue and or Thief and or archery class, and then my next run through is usually always the Magic Caster class. I am not stitching outside. That is a YouTube video, which I can put the link in the description after the stream is over. Maybe I can put it in chat. Nope, that is just a YouTube video. I have a collection of them for listening to while I am, for actually 2 reasons. Usually when I'm stitching, I actually listen to something. But on stream, I don't want to do that and have like, well, I guess it doesn't matter because I don't monetize, but the thought process was something relaxing because stitching is often relaxing and also copyright-ish type stuff. But for example, if I wasn't streaming, I would probably be listening to DM It All or Zero Punctuation, because that's what I was listening to earlier today at work. So I usually listen to something, or Lore by Aaron Mahnke. But when I'm editing, or when I'm dealing with overwhelm, like my brain just can't, then I will put on these videos. I have two that are rain, and I have oh yeah, let's see, it's 1 and then 2. Yep, and then it's 2 and 2. I have one that's rain, 2 that are rain and thunderstorms, 1 that's a river, and 1 that's a waterfall. So I will listen to these often. I did not create the designs myself. They are they are not cross-stitch designs. They're actually stickers from a website that every single time I go to say it, I forget the name. So it's like Rudok's Tavern. Yeah, I think it's Rudok's Tavern. But I purchased the stickers and then I used a program on, a website basically to turn the stickers into cross-stitch designs. And yes, the dice are the hit dice of each class. And I have used that. My memorization of these designs has actually answered me. We were in one session and I was trying to explain resting and using your hit dice to recover your HP, and to our sorcerer, and my sorcerer was like, what dice is that? And I'm like, oh, it's a d6. And then I think it was the ranger, or no, it was the rogue, made the comment about how, like, wow, how did you know that? And I showed them these designs, and I was like, it's because of the designs, because the sorcerer design has a d6 in it. Oh, you've trained yourself to fall asleep? Does that mean you're gonna fall asleep now? I mean, I wouldn't blame you. It is relaxing, but that's kind of the point. It's supposed to be relaxing. Of course, I'm moving a lot slower than what I would be doing if I wasn't looking up every so often, but my pattern. Actually, so me and my sister stitched together, so to speak. And we are doing something which I'll be making a video for eventually, I call it Stitch Ventures. What we have done is we have created D&D style adventures where we have these little characters that we quote-unquote play, where the quests that we get are actually stitching goals. So right now the quest is we're hunting a necromancer and we have to search a forest. And for every discernible object on our project that we finish, we have searched a mile of forest. So for example, this is a sword. This right here is the sword or the dagger on the right side of that finished picture that you see here. And this right here is the scroll work from the end of the name Rogue. You can kind of see it a little bit better there. So I have depict the dagger as my object, so once I finish that object, then in the adventure I would have searched a mile of the forest, and we're searching for the cave that the necromancer is hiding in. So what I was gonna do was publish videos for, because there are a handful of fellow floss tubers that actually follow me, one of whom is actually kind of a mentor towards me, and to me, a mentor to me, and I'm like, the fact that she follows me is like, I'm starstruck. So, but I thought it would be fun to publish them as like a stitch along, like, hey, here's the first quest. It's 044, 0044. I live in South America and it's winter here, so I initially thought it started raining here. Oh, see, that winter to you must mean something different to me, which is awesome. I love meeting new people and learning new things. Because where I live, if you told me winter, there would be 2 to 3 feet of snow on the ground. So rain is not something that happens in winter. Rain is a summer thing for us. But that's crazy that it's winter there. That's amazing. Okay, so let's see. So I was doing my 939s. Oops. I just finished. It looks like there's no more down there, so I'm gonna flip this around and end my thread. So that's what you do. But yeah, true story. It kind of works out that I'm doing Rogue, because to the question from earlier, oh, 1:45 to 1 a.m. Oh my goodness, you should get some sleep. Okay, I wasn't sure when I first saw the 0044. I was thinking military time, but I wasn't 100%. Yeah, if it's that, you should get some sleep. You should. That now is the perfect time to listen. Hopefully my voice is pleasant, like you said. Just put on the rain and listen to the Stitchy voice. Fall asleep. But thank you for popping on. I really appreciate it. 2 to 3 feet of snow in the winter. I'll bet we haven't got that much cumulatively in the last 15 years. Alright. Well, Sunstreaker, I will admit that that is what winters used to be like. However, cold, harsh reality is that our winters lately have been sad and inexcusable and don't really count as winter anymore. But there was a time, oh, so many years ago, there was a time when we had real winters, and that's what winter looked like. That's what winter's supposed to be here. We really haven't had a proper winter in too long. We have like little baby sad winters. We have winters that kind of go meh. But at one point in time, my grandma still has pictures of the winter of '96 in which it snowed so much that it went, the amount of snow was taller than the front door. So they had to like dig out of their own house that particular year. So like it has happened. I was told that Cut Bank was gonna get some snow, but I don't know. I don't live there. And when I say Cut Bank was supposed to get snow, that was like last week, and it's like the middle of June. I admit my love and wish for snow has completely selfish, nefarious, and terrible origins. I'm a bad person. That's why I want the snow. It is a lot of work. True story. It is a lot of work. Because you gotta shovel out your car, you gotta shovel out to your car, you gotta hope the roads are good if you want to get anywhere. Somebody texted me. Who? What? No. Generally just a couple inches at a time. That's kind of where I feel like that's where we're at now. In fact, I don't want to go there. I'm gonna not go up there. I'm actually gonna go over here. Watch this. Yes. We're gonna go this way. You know, is it Catherine Reeve? Catherine Reeve? One of my dreams, and you will probably laugh at this because I guess you're probably from there, but one of my like dreams is to visit Scotland or Ireland. I know they're like two different places, but I'm not well versed in the geography there, but going into that part of the world would like, that is on my bucket list, is to like see a Scottish castle one day. Fortunately or unfortunately or whatever, I'm a semi-poor person. I say semi because like I'm actually doing pretty okay, but I'm not in enough of a state to like world travel. That's not a thing. You know, I can spend $20 or so sharing memberships on a coach stream because I like him and I want to share the love, you know, like give other people the chance to have a membership for a bit. Like I can do that, but world travel is a totally different ballgame. But I would love to see Scottish castle one day. Oh, you visited 4 times? Midwest. Oh, so subterranean, is that, yeah, subterranean behind the scenes. So, fun fact, my grandparents are born, raised, their souls still live in St. Louis. So, my family is very much anchored from the Midwest. They moved here in like the 80s. My mom and my aunt were still, like, had gone through, like, school and bits of high school still in Missouri by the time they moved up here, so, yeah. We are, and I have gotten the chance to go visit St. Louis a couple of times. We took 2 road trips there over the summer a couple of years ago. And it was a blast. It was an absolute blast. Oh, thank you, Heathen. Thank you very much. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. It's like Florida and New York. I'll take your word for it because you would know more than I do. I am not even gonna try to pretend that I actually know anything about that land, its culture, anything. But I find it, like, kind of really fascinating to a degree. It's weird. How can I find it fascinating and not know anything about it? I don't know, but that's the truth of it. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. Is that 8? Oh, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So in theory, that'll be... That's called parking, by the way. When you put your thread where your next stitch is supposed to go, and then you just take your needle off and you just let it float and you just leave it there. That's called parking, and it allows you to, you know, in case you messed up and that's not where that stitch actually goes, you can get it out easier. So, yeah, stick around. You might learn this. 597. The numbers I'm rattling off, if you hear me talking to myself and rattling off numbers, what I'm referring to is what's called the DMC number. It's the actual number of the floss. And I have a whole ring of them, and I search for the number that I need. And then I pull the thread that I need. And also for those who've never stitched before, I'm working off of a pattern, so that's how that works. Pardon the mic bump. So it actually tells me up here in the corner that the circle is 597, and it tells me this is where I need to put them, and I follow the pattern. Oh, the truth of an honest don't know is better than the power of knowing. I feel like that I should put that into parchment and frame it on a wall. That just sounds so... like one of the truths of life. Let's see, does someone have any trips for traveling? I'm going to the UK for a wedding, and it's kind of my first time traveling abroad. Ooh, I would not have any advice about traveling in terms of like over the ocean. There you go. Reve's got you. Reve? I'm probably butchering that. Reeve's got you. You're just here because DC20. Yeah, I was nervous yet hopeful because nothing excites me more than the idea of people from 2 different hobbies kind of merging together. Because I mean, I do play TTRPGs. I love D&D. I love video games. Obviously, the majority of my channel's content are all the Saturday streams of various video games. But I'm also a stitcher too, so it's one of those where it's like, contrary to the algorithm's wishes, people are more complex than just one singular topic. And it's really nice having the freedom of this not being like my job. Like, I am not reliant on YouTube for a paycheck to be able to live and stay in my house. Ergo, I can put, you know, what I want on my channel, and I can kind of hopefully share some neat things, meet some new people. Like, I like the idea of, like, meeting people, so I love that it's grown, because I get even more exposure to new things, but at the same time, it's like, thank goodness that I have a real job. Not that being a YouTuber is not a real job. I didn't mean it like that. I just meant that, like, for me, I have something that's a real steady kind of paycheck. I don't have the... I'm too scared to, like, try to do YouTube as a full-time thing. I'm too fearful. I let fear kind of get to me a little bit there, which is why people like what Coach does is so crazy. Like, it's kind of... I mean, that you know... I could see why he would be nervous, or like where it'd be really stressful, right? Because now he's got to take care of himself and his family, but he's really passionate about what he's putting together, and rightfully so, because it's awesome. All right. Let's see. Train system is amazing. I would recommend using them. South England, Oxford. I intend to move from there. So flying into London, try and sleep. Make sure you look up train next travel steps. Oh yeah, that seems like a good idea. Basically kind of know your next steps from there. I've only been on a plane once. Oh wait, no, I guess 2 times. But it was just from state to state, and it really wasn't. It was like one flight was like an hour each way, if that. It was kind of like sad almost. That was my first time on a plane ever. And then the other time I had to like go, oh my gosh, it was so silly. This does not make any sense to me, so someone might have to help me out on that respect. But we had to go, so I'm from Montana. I won't say like where specifically, but I am in Montana, so we're, you know, in the northern chunk of the US. And I had to fly down to Utah, which is like halfway down the US, to switch planes to fly back north to Oregon, which Oregon is like slightly down into the left from where Montana is. So it's like I had to fly halfway across the country to fly 2/3, you know, halfway back across the country. It was weird. I didn't understand the pathing on that one, but whatever. I think my mouse battery is dying. I think it's flashing red at me. I can't tell. Don't die on me, mouse. Yeah. So I'm working on the... I think this is the... Oh no, this is not the blade of the dagger, is it? Because the dagger's going to be up in here. It's going to be going up this way, isn't it? Because this is the hilt. So I'm not actually working on the dagger right now, I guess. There's supposed to be... What is it? I have to look at my own reference picture. It's probably that blue fluff that's down and to the right from the sword blade. Well, thank you, Tussle. Thank you. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm reading names in a hurry. If I mispronounce your name, I am so sorry, because I'm like looking up and then looking back down. Yes, this is, and side note, in case you missed the first bit, but this is a sticker from a website that I bought that does like D&D stuff. I turned it into a cross-stitch pattern via a website, but it is actually a sticker, and I gave the stickers to my players already, so the only one I have is Barbarian, which I bought by accident. I didn't mean that. Nobody in my table is playing a Barbarian, and I ended up with a Barbarian sticker for some reason. You know what I should probably do is go get that website real quick and post it in the chat so people actually have it. I'm excited about DC-20. It's... we didn't get to play it much last... It looks to be the area between the dagger and the crossbow. Crossbow? Is there a crossbow I wasn't aware of? Oh my gosh, I have to like stop and look now. Now you've got me freaking out. Now I have doubted. Stick my needle there. Where's my needle? There it is. Okay. Crossbows? Are those little is that what that... Oh my gosh, those are little crossbows, and they never even noticed. Wow. It's a good thing I'm not on camera, so you can't see me blushing from the sheer embarrassment that I didn't even know my own pattern. That's funny though. That's the kind of thing that's how Tori do though. That is my way sometimes. Is I'm a little bit scatterbrained. I tend to miss obvious things sometimes. Oh, okay, so I got myself in a bit of a pinch. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna stick our needle partway into the hole, flip him around so I can fix him, and then because we stuck our needle partway into the hole, now we know where we are. So I'm just gonna pull him back out. I need to tighten that. Okay. Yep. Ooh, that is very unlevel. Why is my floss so unlevel? I don't have any nuts. Yep. It's just straight super unlevel. Okay, well. By unlevel, I mean that the two... So this is actually 2 threads of floss. There's the other end. So you can't hardly see it, but this is actually two strands. Really can't hardly see it. So there's one strand and then another strand's over here, and one's way longer than the other. Because when you do cross stitch, there's several methods of actually doing the stitching. So, alright, buckle up. Y'all are getting a tutorial, I guess. Cross stitch is essentially pixel art with strings, right? I mean, that's all it is. It's just pixel art with strings, if that wasn't already very apparent. And the fabric has something called a count. The count of the fabric determines how fine all these little holes are, how close together they are. And it also, by extension, determines how, how pixelated it is. You know, how fine it is. And so this is a 28 count fabric. And because they review me a tutorial, because of this being a 28 count fabric, what I'm doing here is called over 2. So in actuality, and I can zoom in and show you guys this, even though it's kind of fuzzy. In actuality, every single one of these little X's is 2 holes. So right there is a hole. That's a little hole right there. And so I'm actually doing X's over the top of this whole square from this corner all the way up like this is going to be my X. And so because of that, I'm also using 2 strands because the art of it sort of is that you want to have your coverage look good. So the way this looks, it only looks kind of good like this because I'm using 2 strands. If I were to use 1 strand over all of the holes, it would be very, very thin, and you would see all little X's, and you would see fabric showing in between the X, if that makes sense. It would be very, very thin. So I'm using 2 strands, but something else that I could do is make a quote-unquote 4K version of this where I actually stitch 1 over 1, so I would do 1X. Right here and right here. I would actually do 1X in only 1 set of holes instead of over the kind of 3x3 grid. And if you do 1 over 1 like that, you get 4 stitches in the space where I have one of these X's right now. So one of those X's would be, like that X right there would actually be 4 little X's. So that's what I mean when I say it's 4K. And if I did that, then I would have 1 strand. So there's when you're making your pattern, you kind of have to decide what you want your stitching to be, because you have to decide what you want to do versus what you're capable of versus what's fun to stitch. And also you need to know how big it's going to be, because if I do over 2 like this, if I have 300 stitches across, those 300 stitches are going to take X amount of space. But if I do 1 over 1, it's going to take almost half of that space or a quarter of that space, because it's still 300 stitches. Regardless, it's only 300 stitches. So if I suddenly shrink that down, then it's going to be this big by this big. It's going to be super tiny. Or what you would have to do is if you're making a pattern, if you were going to do 1 over 1, you would have to do you would, instead of 300, you'd have to have like 900 or something like that. You know, so there's kind of like a math element to it where you kind of gotta, you know, and it's just something you learn over time. I cast heroic tutorial plus D8 temp HP. Yes, I cast heroic tutorial on you. It looks like the scene from Beautiful Mind with all of the numbers flashing around or whatever. How long have I been doing this type of stitching? I've done a bit of this, but I found woodworking was easier for my brain. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, I'm jealous. Woodworking is phenomenal. I kind of wish I could do that because it's hard to do. It kind of takes a bit of physical strength, I think. And I think woodworking is awesome. I have been doing this on and off, but I needless to say, I've been doing it for years. In fact, I could grab one of my other pieces off the wall and probably show it to you guys. Or actually, I can deviate a little bit. Watch this. The powers of technology in Google Drive. Let's see. Pics, others. So I've got I made a 4K pattern. So I will let you know. We'll see if you can spot it. To that last comment, but the letters. Yes. Okay, fine. We'll switch that over first. The letters down here on Rogue, the actual dark part of the letters is 1/1 stitching. So I don't know if you can really see it quite so much. I can't change the image back to normal size until a hot second, but I'm going to zoom in underneath the finished image down there. These cream colored are 2/2, but these dark colored ones are 1/1. So there's 4 stitches next to one of these cream colored stitches. So I have not done an entire piece like that, but I did that in this piece, in this part of this piece for texture purposes, just to make the words like a little bit finer. Oh, and then I completely broke the focus and sorry about that, guys. There we go. So sorry about that. So another one that I did. So here's another piece that I did. I'll just put this up here. Whoa! That picture is much bigger than I thought it was. Holy crap. I did not realize that the actual core image was like that big. So I'm going to have to sit here and fuck with it to resize it. So that's another piece that I did right there. So the words are done 1/1, but the dice is done 2/2. Oh, wow. I'm so jealous. A gaming I would love a gaming table. Alright, Reeve, we'll see you later. Hello, Rivers. That's awesome. TNT and tabletop. We're the T's. We're the I almost said terrible T's, but that doesn't sound very good. How about the tremendous T's? So yeah, anyways, that's another example of one picture that I've done. Another example of a full coverage that I've done is this one, and it's probably going to be way too big. No, it's not going to be way too big. So this is actually framed and finished, which already, because it was finished before I started the channel. So that's actually framed and finished, but that's Littlest Fairy, which is a full coverage piece. It's called full coverage, where you stitch completely like edge to edge. There's no like fabric showing here at all. That is all stitching. But yeah. So all right, I'll stop being distractible. So sorry, guys. Back to our regularly scheduled stitching programming. Oh, Tenacious Tees. Oh, I like that. Tenacious Tees. I'm trying to get some progress. I figured if I wanted to get progress done, the best thing I could do was stream it so that people could distract me and talk to me and make it more difficult to get progress done, I guess. I'm weird like that, but I like stitching and I like interacting with people. How is everyone else doing? Oh, it is. Oh, I see the question up there. Yeah. It is. That is a YouTube video that I'm playing. That's what that is. I have a playlist of rainy videos because I use them when I'm editing because I can't. I basically always need to have noise constantly. Like I can't, like I need something playing for me all the time. But I can't listen to like a podcast or something while I'm editing because I have to listen to me yapping. So I play something like this. Pardon me while I take a sip. This is Crown Blackberry and Fresca. In case anyone was wondering. Alright, so next we're gonna do... So what I'm trying to do is there's a little bit of edging in here that I think I want to finish. And there's a blank spot right in here. So let's see what that blank spot is, and then that'll take us up a little bit. Yeah, so let's focus on that blank spot real quick, and then we can kind of fill this in and finish this up. I can't believe I didn't realize that was a crossbow. You're a genius. You're a genius, I swear. Okay. So excited for the beta to come out for DC20. I was nervous at first because my players were in the middle of trying to move house. They were really distracted, so I wasn't sure if it was the stress of everything they were going through or if they were just really not that excited to change systems when I first told them, like, hey, I'm going to be changing systems. And so I'm really glad when they finally came last Saturday, because Saturdays are game day. One of my players was just super excited about the high rolls matter. He's like, I mean, he likes multiple elements of the system. It's like, it's kind of hard to, you know, if someone walks up to you and goes, well, why DC20? What do you like about DC20? It's kind of hard not to go into a 20-minute tirade about every little mechanic and bit that I'm excited about. But that was his one thing that he picked out of all of it, was that, you know, when he rolls a D20, it's actually going to matter. Alright, awesome. Have a good time at work and enjoy. Thanks for stopping by. Is it Zionich? Zionich. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Zionich Francisco Ferendez. Subterranean behind the scenes. Why DC20? Well, actually, it's kind of funny because I was so unaware of how much it did take from Pathfinder. But like, I did not know that Pathfinder had an AP system in it. So wait, I didn't mark this down quite right. Okay, 1 second. Marking. So that's actually the third one down. Okay, so it's actually down here. Yeah, I didn't know that Pathfinder had an AP system in it. So when I watched the first coach video on DC20 that I ever saw, where he talked about the AP system, my immediate thought was, oh my god, it's Divinity Original Sin 2, but in a tabletop. And I was just kind of immediately sold. I was like, I get DOS 2 at my table? Yes, please. Where do I sign up? Shut up and take my money. Yes. Why DC20? Answer. Yes. Because yes. I will, oh. That's a little bit different. A meetup group that can't stand playing the same system. I will go on with Francisco there. If I'm saying that right. My experience has been that players do not shop for systems. There's like one time where one player got me to try to change the system because it was a system they had played before and they really liked it. There were the guys that were playing with me because they wanted to play D&D but spent the entire time shitting on D&D and tell me how amazing Pathfinder was. That was an interesting experience. Like, why did you, I told you what system I run. Why did you agree to play? And then he tried to run, so I've only ever been a player twice. In the entire time I've ever been exposed to D&D, I've only ever been a player 2 times. And I mean 2 times, like 2 individual, not like campaigns or anything. The first time was the boyfriend I was with at the time, because I was in a Lord of the Rings binge. And the boyfriend I was with at the time was like, have you ever played D&D? And I'm like, what's that? And he's like, I think he would like it, as I'm like obsessing over writing a bunch of world building lore for no reason. And so he pulls out his 3.5 books and he's like, okay, so this is what D&D is. And so I rolled up a half-elf ranger in 3.5 and he like DM'd just the 2 of us for like we were on a fort and there was army of like goblins or ogres or something coming towards us, and that was it. But that was my first. Ever since then, I was the DM because I wanted to play so bad, and like no one, I didn't know anyone else who did this crazy D&D thing, so I ended up DMing for my sister and her high school friend. So it was an entire female group. Not that that's really relevant or important, but that's what it is, because it was all her group of friends, and I ended up DMing for them for like 5 years in 3.5, and then one of them bought me the 2014 Player's Handbook when it came out, and that's how I ended up in 5th edition. Well, hello, Galaxy! You're a name I recognize! Well, actually, I saw Rivers earlier, and I do recognize Rivers, so I have to say that. I don't want to downplay Rivers. I'm excited to see him too, but I'm also excited to see you because I actually recognize your name. All right, I gotta get at least a handful more stitches. So yeah, so that was the first time I was ever a player, and how I got introduced to D&D as a concept. My parents played it when I was a kid, all the time apparently, but I didn't like put 2 and 2 together. I didn't know what it was. And then the only other time I was a player was aforementioned group of different like years later. They were playing with us, and they were just could not shut up about how much better Pathfinder was than 5e. Just would not let it go. And then they finally, I was like, okay, yeah, no, I'll play. Yeah, run me through it. I'll play. We played for like 45 minutes, and it was a TPK. We started off, I was playing again a ranger with a White Wolf companion, because that was just kind of like, it's what I like. And we were in this kind of mead hall type situation, and I was doing little role play things. I was like, I go over here, my wolf goes over here, blah 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 blah. And then the DM got it kind of a little bit like, all right, it's time to go on the adventure, because I think that I'm getting distracted because I'm trying to stitch and remember the story and follow chat, because chat's moving without me. But yeah, basically the DM got impatient, kind of sort of scooted us out the door. We got into a swamp, and then we got annihilated. I mean, there wasn't even, I think I got to roll 1 attack roll, of which I rolled low, and then I was immediately slaughtered. And the entire, there was like a round of combat, and the party was done. Yeah, no, that's, and so needless to say, when I say I'm not, like, I don't have good memories of Pathfinder, that's kind of part of the reason why. All right, I gotta catch up. Oh, I am, you overstate. I'm not, I'm okay. I'm decent. I'm okay. Too honored to be recognized by someone so awesome. I don't know about that. I don't think so. Decent. I'm pretty decent. I'm okay. I'm okay. I don't know that I fully qualify as awesome just yet, but I'm glad that you're happy to be. I'm happy to have you here. I'm glad that people like the stitching and are curious and want to poke their heads in and find out. And I'm glad that, I mean, I have put at least 2 people to sleep already, so there's that. Not necessarily a bad thing. Sleep is good and important. This is relaxing, stitchy story time is what this is. It's okay if I put people to sleep. I'm totally okay with that. let's do percent sign. How many of those do we got? That's 519. 519. And so we'll start out here and then we'll work our way in and then we'll kind of up through there. Then we don't have a whole lot left. The percent sign that's going out here is actually the last stitch on this side. That's a bad game master, do you think? I felt like it was, but especially at the time I myself was more inexperienced. And so it's, aw, Galaxy, you're too kind. You're too kind. I don't get a chance to respond and I feel bad about it, but like every time I go into like the Sword and Sorcery chat or the coach chat and you're like, hey Tori, I just get all kinds of giddy inside. I'm like, oh, they know my name. They know who I am. It's just like the coolest little moment. I feel bad though because I hop in a chat and then a bunch of people are like, oh, T and Tori's here. Oh, hi. Oh, I love your video. And on the one hand, I want to like give you all a big hug. But then on the other hand, I'm like, guys, this is Coach's chat. Let's keep it. You don't need to, I appreciate it. Thanks. But leave it in the comment sections of my video. Let's focus on Coach and DC20. We don't, so there's a part of me that's like, maybe, am I a bad person? Because people are saying that in Coach's chat. Like, this is Coach's stream. This is his moment. But I love you guys. Like, I'm simultaneously, like, gushing and smiling. If you can't hear it in the tone of my voice, it just gets me every time. Let's see. DC20 seems like... Okay, we're gonna catch up a little bit. I got a bunch of family in Houston. Sorry if you've met them. If only I didn't live at the other end of the world. Aww. DC20 seems like an odd duck, but it's fun to follow the development process and see the whole thing unfold. Okay. So does that mean that you're, like, more critical of the system or not? Like, you don't like the system? I mean, I guess the next follow-up question is, what system do you play? I mean it in the very best way possible. It reminds me of my youth when my mom and grandma would stitch and I would fall asleep on both their laps. Aww. Well, that's so awesome, Galaxy. Yeah, there's something kind of nice about doing something with your hands. Tussle maybe can speak to this with the woodworking, but it's like, I don't know, it feels really good to do something with my hands, and stitching appeals to something in my neurodivergent brain. I can't really explain it or say what, but there's definitely like a weird satisfaction. Like every time you pull the needle through, there's like a small dopamine hit, I think. It's like literally addictive. I deserve this shout out. I super appreciate it. Like I said, I was absolutely convinced that I was gonna actually like close my channel down and not do any more YouTube, none of that. I was super struggling. I was super stressed. It was a thing, and I would feel like it, and then I would be like, well, I gotta respond to comments, and then I'd get on in the morning and I'd pull up the comments and there would just be so many positive comments, or like the little moments like I just mentioned where I hop in a chat and a bunch of people go, oh hey Tori, and then all of a sudden I'm like, I can't quit now. Like, I don't know. It's just the positive comments and people saying hi to me just like absolutely made my day. It's like the first time I ever saw Coach tear up in stream, it was like really heartwarming and like, oh, I just want to give you a hug. And now when I see him do it, when he talks about how successful it is, or when people give him a nice comment and he starts kind of like getting a little emotional, it's like, oh my God, I feel your feels, dude. I feel your feels, because someone says something nice to me and it's like, it changes my whole day. Like, it means so, so much. Oh, duck, I'd say magical penguin. Oh, you were tabletop. Okay, I apologize for not recognizing your name, though. There are a lot of names, especially in the bigger streams, like a Coach stream, there's just names flying by all the time, and I'm like, and I'm at work, too. Don't tell anybody, but I'm at work. And so I'm like, all I have is like my little phone screen kind of off to the side on my desk, laying flat, like I'm trying to like look at my computer screen and act like I'm not watching a stream on my phone. Oh yes, I was diagnosed with ADHD when I was 7, and I am absolutely convinced at this point, although I have not gone back in for more testing or anything like that, but I very much want to get my diagnosis re-examined. It just costs a lot of money and time to do that, and I don't know where to start. But it's like I can tell that there's something there, but I don't. Not every symptom of ADHD, and I know everybody with ADHD is actually different. Like it does. It manifests very differently in a lot of people, but I have a lot of ADHD tendencies, but I also have some tendencies that are more closely associated with autism than ADHD, but very few, like just like a handful. And there's some key symptoms of ADHD I don't have when I have a lot of others. So I'm like in this weird little spectrum in the middle. And that's why I wanted, because I got diagnosed when I was 7 years old, or so I'm told, because I don't remember. And so that would have been 90 something, like early 90s. So it's one of those where it's like, I mean, there's the possibility that my diagnosis is off or something. And maybe not. Maybe I just purely have ADHD. I don't know. But to those who know me in real life and have to work and live with me, it is very apparent and obvious. When you watch scripted videos or edited scripted content, like, you're not gonna see it. But if you see live content, like, you're gonna see it. And I've gotten to the point where I've spent so much time, like, kind of like researching it and learning about it, that I now, like, I recognize it in other people now. So I've met a couple of people I've worked with, people I've seen on stream, where it's like, oh my god, that person is, I can tell. That person. Learning the deep TNT lore here. Shoot, should I stop going on so much about my personal stuff? I'm sorry, you guys. I get distracted easily. Lols. Oh, okay. Agree with the dopamine hit comment. Shaving down the wood and forming it into something beautiful is so rewarding. I love making things for people. It's truly rewarding. All right, so you get me. I feel kinship with you, Tabletop Tussle. Like, I feel those feels. It's so weirdly addicting. It's relaxing, but it's also actually really engaging too. Oh, thanks, Galaxy. You do. You, and I see you. I can't pronounce your name. Is a Blue Bakery Studios. A Blue Bakery Studios. I've seen your purple hearts. I like your purple hearts too. Like all the purple hearts. Only go on about your life if you feel comfortable. I have a very weird mix of stuff. Basically never enough to go, that's it, on different aspects, but some of it is extreme. And I also have, I can't quite, epilepsy, which is a thing I'm actually diagnosed for, epilepsy. You love the ramblings? Well, if you love rambling, you've come to the right place. I'm not even getting that much stitching done at this point. I'm gonna pause for stitches. Pause for stitches. That's 26. 9:32. Where's my needle? Lost my needle, y'all. Oh, there it is. By the way, oh, you can't see it on screen. So, stitchers often have what's called a needle minder. Oh, that's why I was going to end that thread. That's why I pulled it back. Okay. Can I pull that through? Alright, I'm just going to pull it through one more time. Okay. So, ending my thread. Actually, ending it. So, you can't see it frame, but... Pop! This is my needle minder. So, most stitchers have something that's called a needle minder, and it's just a little chunk of magnet, and then you just... and you stick your needle on it, and then that allows you to, like, kind of set it down while you're working. So in this case, since we're working over here, it's off frame for you guys, but that's my needle minder, and it is a gelatinous cube. Straight up. Gelatinous cube needle minder. I don't know if I have ADHD, but I love going from one thing to there and then back again, but I can also follow. You get, you know, if you have it, you'll probably know what I mean. Like you can kind of start, you see it in other people. Like, I don't actually know Coach, like, IRL, really. Like, he sent me a Discord message, like, 1 or 2 times. So that I don't really consider that, like, truly knowing someone. But after watching Coach's streams, I am absolutely convinced that he has something. Like, ADHD or something. Probably ADHD, but, like, just the way that he, like, there's a verbal tics. And that's the big thing I noticed, the verbal tics, because even like people with autism can sometimes have that, and the thought trails, because you can even, if you pay attention, you'll hear me doing the same thing where we're going on a line of thought and then we stop, but it's like our energy keeps going. So we stop talking, but the energy and the thought and what we were trying to say, see me gesturing down here, keeps going. But we'll stop midway through, you know, he does, and the hand gesture, like he has so many things. Okay, I'm losing track of, much love, Galaxy. Did you mean epilepsy? Oh, okay. It's basically my brain crashing and turning off sometimes for a couple of seconds to a minute. So during that time, no info will get in and processed. Oh. Hold now, thank goodness. Oh wow. Okay, so I'm not the only like person here who's got some things. Yes, it is magnetic, Francisco. Yes, that is how it works. So the needle minder is actually a magnet that the needle sticks to, and then on the back has a little, where is it? There it is. Has a little, that's a magnet holding it onto the piece. Oh, Seraphis! Hello! Hi! Ah, welcome, my good old friend. You have well, if it makes you feel any better, Seraphis, some of the newbies to the channel have been perfectly carrying on in your absence, but now that you're here as a channel veteran, you can give them what's what, I suppose. I don't know. Very, very, all tested on the autism spectrum. Very interesting to interact with them. Love the cube. Yep. Background music. Hey, Grim Squirrel. Hey. Hello, Grim Squirrel. Needleminder is a good NPC name. Well, I do have one NPC that they haven't met yet, but they probably will next session or so. And it's a gnome who's a corrupted, a bribable city official for their home base, and the gnomes was part of a smuggling group, and the gnome's name is Liftmitz. Like Liftmitts, Liftmitz is his name. I thought that was pretty clever. I feel smart. Okay. Love that you all are here to hang out with me. I was super convinced that I was probably going to be alone for most of this stream, so I was just stitching away doing my thing, but I'm so happy to have some people here with me. It is the best. It's kind of the reason I keep doing this nonsense. Other than the fact that I actually genuinely enjoy editing and stick figures. Sorry for your text go weird. No worries, Galaxy. There were some, okay, my brain, wow. So you know the meme thingamajigger that went around Facebook oh so many years ago? It probably still exists out there today, where it's a chunk of text where all the letters are jumbled up, and it basically says something along the lines of, you're a normal person if you can read this anyways, blah blah blah. Because the idea behind the little paragraph of text is that the letters don't actually have to be in order, because our brain doesn't actually read the letters. Our brain just sees like the first and last letter and the length and makes assumptions and then jumps to the next word. So your text had a couple of like little spelling bits, and my brain while I was reading it was like doing those jumps, like reading over, like translating some of the typos into what I think they were supposed to be. My brain was doing the thing. Nonsense? That makes no sense. I do stream on Saturdays. I will still stream on this Saturday. The title of this stream was supposed to say surprise stitching stream because it is a surprise. Yeah, your brain associates words. Yeah, Galaxy, you know the one I'm talking about. Wish I had a cup and a warm blanket. Yeah. Galaxy for night 5 languages. Wait, you know 5 languages? Dang, y'all are. I know one language. I only know one language. That's insane. 5 languages. Although I suppose once you learn one, I've been told once you learn one language, like the first time you get your brain into like duo mode, then others get easier. That's what I've been told anyways. I've never actually, I mean, you have to take, in high schools here, you have to take another language, and I took French, but it was terrible. So if I go here, do I want to keep going up and then go down? I don't think I want to do that. I think I'm going to backtrack now. Go over here. Then go up. From the Netherlands, you can help with Dutch. None of them well. Wait, 6. Do we count Latin? Latin is kind of dead. 2 languages, English and bad English. You got me beat, Grim Squirrel. I just do the latter of those 2. That's so cool, though. 5 languages? Dang. So cool to be like talking with people that are like way across the world from me. I mean, as much as the internet sucks sometimes, it's also really cool. Just got that when I was playing Baldur's Gate 3 again the other day, and that song got stuck in my head that the bard sings in the druid place. Victory, let's see. Really depends on the language. You have some languages that share an origin, like learning Dutch and Dutch, France, to a point. If we count dead languages, I have studied some ancient Hebrew and Greek. Oh, that's awesome. Victory. Wait, what did I miss? What are we victorying? Uh-oh, what did I miss? Speaking of, Eastern language, Japanese or Mandarin are such a struggle for me. Back when I actually watched anime, I had this like pipe dream that I would learn Japanese and it would be oh so great and amazing, and now I'm just like, I don't see that happening. But that makes sense though. Now, if you want to talk programming languages, then I can help you out, because I know a couple of programming languages. But I feel like that's different because, well, hello, fanboy Casey. Oh, it's Victory in Klingon. Okay, you got me there. I'm not a Star Trek. I know enough about Star Trek to know that Klingon is Star Trek, and I hope I actually got that right. But yeah, no, I am Star Wars. I am not Star Trek. Sorry, guys. And there's actually a science fiction universe that I love more than Star Wars, and I'm an even bigger nerd of than Star Wars. I feel like I messed up too. It's like, those all look like the same color, and they're not, they shouldn't be. Man. I'm on 932. I'm on 932. What was the other one? 926. Okay, so these are the 2 colors that is supposed to be. Oh, that is, oh no, wait a minute. That's a totally different color. That is not right. So I'm gonna have to undo all that. Yep. I'm gonna have to undo all that. So let's go back to these guys. Unless, hang on, nope. That's the first one, is those two right there. So here's what we're gonna do. Plan of attack, guys. We gotta deal with the fact that I messed up. And this happens. This is part of stitching. This happens. Let's see. Controversial Japanese. It's not just the, let's see. Babylon 5. Babylon 5. Question mark? On the mend. Well, in that case, I apologize because I don't have our brush text installed on my computer anymore. Harry said there was another universe used. Oh, I don't know what Babylon 5 is, so no, that's not that's not the sci-fi universe that I like better than Star Wars. Of which, though, like, seriously, the Darth Bane books. I love me some Old Republic. I like the Darth Bane books. Here we go. Yeah, they were asking me if that's what it was. Let's see. Greatest romance in all of sci-fi. Car and Laundry. I don't know who that is. What is this sci-fi? The Mass Effect series. I love the Mass Effect series. Old Republic, yes. Tabletop, yes. The extended universe is some of the, like, greatest. I really like the extent. I have not gone through all of it, obviously. Unfortunately, I don't know Babylon 5, Grim Squirrel. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. But I'm a Mass Effect fan. Okay, so now I need to figure out how badly I messed this up. Hold on, guys. Now, what's this? Is that a different... Yeah, that's 519. Okay, so it's basically everything on all sides of the 519. So it's going to be up here, down here, and possibly... Percentage... No, that's the equal sign. So it's gonna be through here at least. Oh, it's gonna be through here, and it's gonna be through here too, because I had the wrong thread the whole time. So if I do all of that, yep. That was all that color, that was all that color. That was not all that color, so that is correct. Okay, so that gives me roadmap for what color, where I messed up. It was on in like 1992. Don't blame you at all for not knowing it. I love the stars, though. Star Wars, Star Trek, and Stargate. You said you love Mass Effect. All is forgiven. I love me some Mass Effect. I really do. And I love Dragon Age even more, but barely. Barely more. Because Dragon Age is classic fantasy, and I loved classic fantasy long before, you know, I was a Tolkien fan long before I even knew what the concept of sci-fi was. So Dragon Age has a special place in my heart simply because of that, but I'll be danged if Mass Effect isn't, like, just so good. Now you get to see what picking looks like. This is called frogging, actually. When you have to undo your work. There's actually a name for that. It's called frogging. In the Stitchy world. Learn ye some Stitchy lingo. Bingo. Sorry, I mumble sing to myself sometimes. I'll try to not burn your ears out as I'm hyper-focusing. I saw one Stargate movie one time, and it was like from the 90s, and I think it traumatized me as a kid. So I won't say I don't like it or anything. I understand that it's like a big phenomenon, but I don't really know much else about it. Full admission. In fact, it's one thing that we did. So, like, the session before, the last session we played, before I learned of DC-20, was a... they were on a ship, like, kind of Spelljammer style. In fact, I remember, I think Seraphis and Grimsquirrel might remember this, because I was talking about the whole, like, the short versus the long campaign and episodics and stuff like that. But they were on a ship and they got attacked by pirates, and they were being flown on said ship by a captain named San Holo and a bipedal owlbear named Chippy. So it was kind of in the midst of introducing more sci-fi-esque elements to our D&D campaign. Alright, why is it called frogging? Is it because you jump backwards? Stargate was fun. Shepherd, dyslexia, hitting way too hard. Sorry. I had been making a frog yesterday and had to frog my frog because I realized the pattern was messed up, and I undid it and trying again from a different pattern. Is that because, you know, Grim Squirrel, I think he showed me a picture once before. Is it, you're doing embroidery, is that right? Or are you talking about something else? The original Stargate movie. Is that the one I'm thinking of? There was like Egyptian pyramids and some blonde guy with glasses, and he like fell in love with the chick at the end. And there were like critters that were pretending to be the Egyptian gods with like masks on their heads. And there was some commando, the obligatory commando type character. I think I can't be traumatized by movies. I saw Alien when I was 6. I'm a weird one. Movies traumatize me that are not like bloody or scary or horror in any way. I get traumatized by like different things. Farscape is an interesting show. It's got some surprisingly deep ideas and storylines for what it is. Oh, crochet. Okay. See, you said, it is funny because you said frog, and so I was picturing like crochet or knitting, but I remember then seeing the picture that was embroidery. At least I'm pretty sure it was your, maybe it wasn't you. Maybe I'm getting myself confused because it was a while ago. But I initially, on your description, I pictured like a 3D. I do crochet. I have scarves that I've crocheted, but I can't, I haven't done like 3D objects, but I've seen them done. And then we may end up undoing some stuff that we didn't need to as well. We were taking... Oh no, because we're coming in, it's going to be these guys. It's either these guys or it's going to be these guys. One of the two. Go, come on. There we go. It's going to look like hot fuzzy mess for a minute, but that's okay. This is the real cross stitch. You know, when you have to undo half your work because you messed up. Kind of like that though. You had to frog your frog. It's brilliant. Alright, here we go. Let's see, military lead was played by Kurt Russell. What are you making? My mom loves knitting and she made me some of my favorite winter shirts. I think that's funny that the term is transferable between wool yarn crafts. She never made me an ugly Christmas sweater. I'm making an amigurumi. I'm butchering that name, I am so sorry. Yeah, maybe you should like send me pictures over Discord at some point and let me know how your froggy is coming. Me and my sisters, we have a Notions page called the Stitchery where I put up like a calendar and we log when we do we log when we do stitches and stuff. So we kind of stitch together. I messed up. That I was not supposed to do that. Oops. Okay, we're just gonna put this guy back real quick. We're just gonna put him back real quick, where he belongs. Or roughly where he belongs, because that is not the color slash stitch I was looking for. Down here is going to be the color slash stitch. There we go. So I have Discord. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm good about using it. I don't have like my own server. I'm part of Coach's server. I'm part of the Zenith Comic Books Presents server, which is where Heroic is. But I don't have social. I hit the wrong button. That was settings. I'm looking for Discord because I need to see what servers I am because I don't know. I have Discord, but I don't like open it and go into it. I literally only get like little notifications on my phone when someone tags me, and then I'll like go into that. But it's not like I go in and like follow the conversations or anything. Oh, apparently it needs to update. Okay. Go away, Steam. I'm not playing the game. See what part of... Oh, and I'm part of the stitching ones. I'm part of like Karen. I'm part of Needlebugs and Teresa Little Stitchers, of course. Game Masters. I'm in Game Masters, and I'm in the Giddy Stitcher. Actually, most of the ones that I'm in are... But I don't have like my own. It's just people like message me. You know, like friends like just message me because Seraphis and me have talked before. I don't know, Seraphis. I may have to, that sounds like a challenge. It sounds like a challenge issued. No, I'm not doing that. Thread, come back here. Looks like it's gonna get tangled up in here, guys. You're from Virginia. Oh, nice, Tabletop. I am from Montana, so we're at least in the USA. Seraphis is in Australia. I don't know where specifically, but he's in Australia. And Grim would be as well, I believe. Yeah, got my... Ah! Is that not them? Because there's two... Oh no, it's these two. Okay, no, I'm safe. Right? I'm not safe. Okay, so wait. 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, and then 1. So this one... right here. And this one right here. Hold on. This one right here, and this one right here. And this one right here. Oh! Grim Scroll just sent me a friend request. As I'm like looking down. Yeah, I don't have any other social, you're from the Netherlands, Europe represents. I don't have social media, and more specifically, I am not like, I don't check my social, I don't like, full, oh, Cantrip, just sent me a friend request too, apparently. Oh, they sent me a picture. I thought, oh, 146, the OGGM streamed a day ago versus the Monk video, and at that point in time had 872. To be fair, I don't know if Cantrip's actually watching this or will watch this, but if Cantrip watches this after the fact, 872, it's all relative. It's all relative. The term successful is relative. So if you want to think about it, the Monk video, at least per the screenshot that they sent me, is like compared to the other DC videos, was not as successful. However, the other kicker is that the first DC video being viral, like, it puts everything out of whack. So the monk video is wildly successful compared to any other video I've ever made, but like an eighth, if like not even like a footnote compared to how successful the one viral video went. But if you're looking at percentages and like a curve and everything, the first DC20 video I did going viral like threw everything out of whack. So now I guess I don't really have a metric for what is really successful and what's not, because everything, even my last Layers of Fear stream had like 70 views, which is like triple what they would normally get. But then again, 70 views is like compared to the 7K that the one, you see what I mean? So it makes the metrics really hard to understand when something like that happens. That, oh, Froggy! And so is this your first attempt at this pattern? Because like I'm assuming like you've cross-stitched before. Working on it, as you can see, it's bigger and more round and just a lot better than before. Oh yeah, yeah. Because see, when I did my hats, I made a creeper hat. And so when I did my hats, I'm getting a lot of I'm not getting much stitching done, you guys. Galaxy says they will now start pouring in. We'll see, Galaxy. I'm trying to be realistic too. I love the positive, like, oh, I love all the positive stuff. So, but at the same time, there's a part of me that's like trying to be measured and live in the real world. Wayne's artwork is peak RPG style in my opinion, and I'm not just saying that because he set the style for Eberron. Rain Reynolds' style would be a good feel. Recommend. Really happy to make any style. Oh, wait, style. Oh. Oh, please be sure to turn on multi-factor verification for Discord. I had my old account stolen. Oh, that's awful. Okay, and oh yeah, and they're both in Australia. See, and that's what I thought. I knew Seraphis, I knew, but you ever have one of those moments right before you say something out loud where the tiny voice in the back of your head goes, oh shit, what if I have that wrong the whole time? Like, what if I thought that they were husband and wife this whole time and they actually weren't? Like, that's what went through my brain, is like a snap. Crap, dude, like my brain, like deer in the headlights, like my brain just froze for a split second. I used to live in Yuma, Arizona, by the way, when I was a kid. Fun fact, since I saw AZ in there. Rainy day stitching, cantrip. Oh, there's Cantrip. We were just talking about you and you appear. Huh, go figure. A Galaxy says they found the channel because of DC20 but loved all of the videos and the style. That's a lot. It was a lot of work. It's gotten better now, though. It's gotten better. Looking into D&D art and getting the best vibes possible. I love looking. I just Google image stuff. So Matt Colville, and I won't always agree with everything that he does, but Matt Colville has one video that I highly, highly like. Yes! And, he does how to prepare for a D&D adventure, and he starts it off by finding a piece of artwork and then da-da-da-da-da-da. But basically how that video goes, where you find a piece of art and then you kind of do the rest from there. It's like that's kind of how my brain works too. So I will spend lots of times when I'm just thinking about like, what do I want to do for a session? And then I will just hunt for artwork. I'll see a piece of art and I'll be like, ooh, and then I'll fill in the rest from there, like who lives here, what does that look like, how does that function? So artwork fills in a lot of that. So let's see, they want to do a 2 to 3 shot for DC20 for my group. I'm in a 2 right now, so I hear you there. And then start a 5 to 6 week part session where they get TPK'd within the first half hour and then have to fight their way off of the Death Realms. Oh, that would be interesting. You know, I don't know if I would use the word best. Ow, sorry, I hurt my ankle there. I'm lifting my desk. Sorry, guys. I don't know if I would consider it the best necessarily, but, I'm getting no stitching done. But I do definitely have a soft spot for 3.5 stuff. In fact, in the 3.5 monster manual, there's a monster called a Liliand, and it's basically like a kind of mermaid-esque feathered wing kind of siren creature. And when I saw 5th edition didn't have that, it was like, I was sad. Okay, there's, oh, there we go, incoming friend request, there we go, Araxis. Hello, Araxis. Hello. Now I'm just gonna have my entire message. Maybe I should create a server. Because then at least everyone could, like, all talk to each other. I don't know, do you guys think I should? Because I don't feel like I'm, like, really big enough to warrant that. And I especially don't want to make a server if I'm not gonna be in it most of the time. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I would be setting, you know, here, join the Tory Discord, and then just be personally absent from the Discord. That'd be dumb. Yeah, I agree with Galaxy there. If you want to do like a TPK where that's part of the adventure, I would just be careful about how you go about it. Like, I would find some way of communicating it, or I would find some way to not give it away, but you'd have to be careful how you handle that, because yeah, he's right. There's a possibility that the players might not understand that, and they might think that they just got totally TPK'd. And that might be no bueno. You guys are making it really hard to stitch. Grim Scroll says do it. Galaxy Fox. Oh, is that you, Galaxy? Are you Galaxy Fox? I mean, I see purple hearts, so the only other thing that would be more telling than that would be some sort of penguin. Reruvian man style? What's a what? They would die, then wake up in the Death Realms in the same session. That way we are on the ground floor when when you're famous. You guys are so optimistic. Maybe you can directly start from character creation in the Death Realms? Peruvian man. Oh, I'm so dumb. Oh, I know what you're talking about. The man, I think it's the pic of the guy standing with his arm. Yeah, it's the Da Vinci. It's the Da Vinci painting or drawing that you see, like, everywhere. What's that? Chat has made you distracted. My work here is accomplished. Seraphis, you are like the OG. You and Grumpy will always be the OGs in my heart. But yeah, chat continues on your tradition. Alright, Galaxy Fox. Or Galaxy Fox. Oh, it is holy crap. Okay, I am so sorry. This entire time, I have been reading your username in my head, like in all of the other streams and everything. This entire time I've been reading your name in my head as Galaxy 4 Night Sky. I did not... I'm sorry. You were thinking of sending a penguin, and that's what counts. Okay, so, real talk, real question. I am not getting stitching done as the chat is going, and I'm way more interested in what the chat is saying. There is a thing that I'm having where there are games that I want to play for my Saturday stream, but I don't know if my computer can handle it. So, because I don't want to start a Saturday stream, have the frame rate be naff, and then not be able to play that game on that stream and then be in a pinch. Would you guys be up for testing some frame rate, some games with me, just in anticipation that it might just be me like kind of troubleshooting because the frame rate might be naff. But then you could give me actual feedback. Oh yeah, Araxis, I mean, if you need to go, don't let me distract you. It's okay if you guys distract me, but don't let me distract you. If you need to focus on your game, you do that. If you need to focus on your game, you do that. So we'll see what the chat says. We'll see if there's any game testing in the cards for us. And I'm probably gonna have to frog this entire area. It's like, yeah, it's bad. Oh, yeah. Just catching up, Tori. Hi. You get triggered when people try to boss creatives around. I should be more chill. Yeah, we all are ourselves, right? To a certain extent. I try to have a lot of openness and patience. Try to. At least I try to present that way. I'm like, in real life, I actually lose patience really rapidly. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna default to Galaxy on that one. Oh, you think so? I admit I spend like zero time in the Discord. You see what I mean? There's the needle minder. Here's Rogue. Here's its... I'm zoomed out the camera anyways. Dun, 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 dun. There he is. Of course, he's in a hoop. Because I've got my little stand here. Belke Patoke stand. Dun, dun, dun. So we'll switch it up a little bit. So, pardon... Oh, please pardon the black screen, because it's gonna go black for a bit. So sorry, guys. Incoming friend request. Yes. Okay. You go away. I don't need you running right now. Close window.